So we're going to use our famous Salon White French tips. And we're going to glue them to the newly created pink nail bed that we just made. So that way we have that pink and white 90s fantasy without having to do 2 colors of acrylic. Well, we are still going to do 2, but we're just going to overlay the whole nail in clear and build it out like that. And I like to pinch in the ears of the tips so that way we get a really beautiful shape. So a little bit of quickie brush on nail glue. You can use this one. You mean the ones that are already pre-decorated?
Yeah, those are so fabulous. I'm so excited about them.
So you can use this glue. They come with tabs, or you can also apply them with acrylic, and they last around 2 weeks. It just depends, like what the situation is. Like if you want to wear them for about 2 weeks, then you can apply them with acrylic. Like a little drop of acrylic, and then put them on, hold them down, and they'll last. But you can't fill those nails. So you have to take them off after like 14 to 21 days, depending on how long you'll have it on.
And you soak them off? How do you get them off?
You can soak them off or you can file them off. But if you're just gonna wear them for like one time, I think the tabs will be fine for like 2 or 3 days. It just, like I said, it just depends given the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's like an event, then you have to have them off or whatever you do for a living.
Yeah, like some people can't have long nails, period.
Like my sister, she can't have it because she's a massage therapist. Obviously, she can't have long
Does she do
nails.
massages?
She still does massages.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like the do it all. She's got it all.
Funny Duddy massages or just regular massages? Depends.
$20 is $20, right?
Depends who it is. Does she post that picture of her all catfished? And then you show up and you're like, where's this girl in the picture? She's like, honey, that's me.
Exactly.
She's like, here, have a shot, and I'll look just like that.
Exactly.
No, she looks great though. She's lost a lot of weight.
Amazing. Like her and my niece are like little twinsies.
For real.
Yeah.
Is she considering having the skin removed?
I think so. Yeah. I think that'd be the next step.
The next fantasy.
Yes.
But the guys don't care.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know, like when
Men are pigs.
whenever they're in the area, in that
In the
action,
zone.
That's it. In the zone. Once you're in the zone, that's it. That's all you need. They don't need a lot.
Like Britney Spears in the zone.
Yes.
Or Britney.
Madonna.
She looks like a drag queen dressed up like Madonna. Like a pantomime version of Madonna.
Did you see her licking the dog bowl or whatever, like out of the dog bowl just recently?
No.
I feel like we need to stalk her little Instagram for a little bit.
But her daughter like is making music now.
Is she?
But her daughter's like
Lola.
Lola. Yes. Lourdes.
Lourdes, real close.
But I think Lola's her stage name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Lola.
But
Oh,
like,
we almost became one.
but her daughter has like hairy armpits and just like really weird music. But her daughter's like a Cuban version of Madonna because the dad is Cuban.
There's a very good mix there. With, like the dark features, like the brows. Yeah.
Madonna's small face.
Yeah.
But Madonna has like really pretty skin. Like she's really super fair with really big blue eyes. Kind of like you.
Face just looks very stretched and really
Yes.
it looks very like.
I think Madonna and I both have a little bit of Peter Pan syndrome.
I think it's very Peter Pan syndrome.
Never want to get old.
Yeah, I know.
You need a little. But Madonna, like,
Looks like Nico.
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. She works out a lot though. You know, she works out 4 hours every day. Yeah.
You know, she doesn't only drink like
Kombucha?
no water.
Do you remember the holy kombucha guy from Sedona? You were the one that told me about it. The guy was like, oh, the holy kombucha in Sedona.
Yeah. That's so funny.
It was like gonna be like the first time I would go to Sedona, and you're like, oh, the holy kombucha guy.
Yes. He
And
was all about it.
Kombucha's disgusting. I don't like it.
I think there's some now that I think that are pretty good.
Tolerable.
Yes. Tolerable.
I'm not a fan of the holy kombucha.
The holy kombucha.
It's gross.
There's definitely some that are pretty gnarly.
And it smells like,
I can't smell anymore.
it smells like my feet and rotted bread. Like it is not a cute scent.
That is so funny.
Plus Sedona's, I didn't like Sedona. I thought it was so boring.
Sedona is definitely the garage that
And not
shows
do
you.
anything.
Yeah, it's very granola.
It's very granola and magic crystals.
And hiking and
Things that I don't like.
the vortexes.
The energy, I'm like, I don't feel anything. Nothing's happening.
Have one with yourself.
No, I want to feel something, not look out into yonder.
It's very different.
Like when Rona first happened, I think that year I went to Sedona because that was the only thing we could do.
Right.
So we were like, oh, we'll just go to Sedona for 2 days because my birthday and my birthday are next to each other.
Yours is?
My mom.
Oh, got it.
So mine is June 4th and my mom is June 5th. So we went, we sit at, I think it's called Esplendor or something like that. And I spent my birthday just getting like massage treatments. Like I had a facial, I had a body scrub. Yeah, it was relaxing. And yeah, it's ridiculously expensive. And I was like, who lives in Sedona too? Because it's such a small little random town.
With a bunch of roundabouts.
Yes, I don't like roundabouts. Those are anti-American. And the one McDonald's that's blue. The only blue McDonald's that's blue. I took a picture outside of it actually. But Sedona is really expensive. The food is not good. I think the food is so overhyped in Sedona.
Where I eat or what I eat in Sedona, but everything is ridiculously expensive. It's definitely like a bougie, have a bunch of money to blow type of thing.
It is, but it doesn't look like it because it's so like paper bag.
Yeah, dirt.
And not glamorous at all.
Right.
Are we in frame?
We are in frame.
It is not a glamorous place. And it's not high-end at all. There's no luxury feeling about Sedona. Like, I even told them, I was like, my room is so expensive, and it's not even decorated. And they're like, oh, we took out all the decorations because of COVID. And I was like, oh my god.
Why? Because the decorations are going to give you COVID?
Or apparently.
Like a painting is going to give you the bit?
Like, the walls were, like, super empty, and I was like, oh my gosh, never again. But it was nice to talk to the girls that do the services, because I was like, do you guys, like, have you had any celebrities here, and what do they like, and things like that. So the girl that did my body scrub was telling me that Gwyneth Paltrow, Cameron Diaz, and another one were all there together.
Nice. Have you ever watched, what is the Goop, that show, Gwyneth Paltrow's show?
Goop?
Yeah, I think it's called
No.
Goop. I might be making that up, but she had a show.
About what?
All kinds of crazy things, like, doing mushrooms, or they're like, I guess it's like a mushroom therapy in maybe Costa Rica and different countries.
And she was there?
Like, she took her whole staff out there and let her staff get all high on shrooms and watch them. Like, it's like a therapy session.
Oh, I've heard of like ayahuasca or something like that.
That's what it was. Like, it's a tea. It was a tea. It's a psychedelic tea.
And you have to have like a shaman with you and like
Yes.
kind of like he guides you, right?
Yeah, like it's a healing process, whatever.
That sounds scary.
It looks scary. Like,
Because what if you have a bad trip?
I think they go through all of it. Like, they would have bad trips. They were puking everywhere.
Crying.
They have people there to make sure that you don't have sex with each other.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why would you want to put yourself through that?
I have no idea, but
You must have a lot of demons if you want to like try to find, the answer with something so gnarly like that.
yeah, it was crazy. I was like,
And she's just not participating in it?
no, it was just, I don't think she did. It was
She just supervises?
that, or maybe she filmed herself and was like, nobody needs to watch that.
For real.
Not go to Prince.
We're gonna skip over that part with me.
Yeah, no. My part does not get printed. I'm the executive producer. Like, nobody needs to see that.
And a lot of celebrities when they go out there, and they come to Tucson a lot too, like all they'll
Yeah.
drink is like lemon juice with cayenne pepper and whatnot.
Right. Gotta have that skinny.
And the lady that did my massage, she said that she had done a massage prior on Danny DeVito.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, well, that's something too.
Short massage.
That's something to be proud of. Danny DeVito, wow.
Oh my gosh.
The lady that does my Thai massages, she's done Daniel Craig.
Out here, right?
Yes, in town. Because she works at Merida. She pulled her hair. You're like, are you gonna buy me lunch for dinner?
I don't even know how to feel about that. She would just pulled my hair.
Why? Like hard or just like? Wow. Did he say anything or did you moan? You're like, a text. I had a great time.
Some validation.
Yeah, not you're like, I just feel objectified now. I feel like a sexual object.
She knows my name.
That is kind of strange.
It's a little strange, yeah. It is what it is. $20 is $20.
That's how much the massage was?
No. Maybe it used to be 40 for an hour. Like they go to, and now I think it's up to 50 for an hour.
And here you have your sister that could do it for free. No, she probably wouldn't do it for free.
You know, it's hard. It's like everybody at home who wants you to do their nails. You
I just love my mom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we gotta do things first.
And I don't have a choice.
Exactly what I mean.
It's either that or like get hit with a wooden spoon or a shoe.
Yes, right. She's got that good aim.
Yes, she's got a lot of practice.
Yes, right. How were you as a kid?
I was actually pretty well behaved.
Were you?
Yeah, for the most part. My brother was the one that gave her.
The chocolate madness?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a really funny story. Story.
That's how I feel with the Botox.
About when I was a kid, and I was like, see, even when I was a baby, I like luxury items. And apparently, when my parents were, they went to Mexico for the holidays, and my mom had just gotten a brand new perfume of Yves Saint Laurent's Opium. And I proceeded to open up the perfume bottle of opium, which was at the time was very expensive, and just poured it all over myself. And she wanted to kill me. She said that she was seeing red, and her sisters had to like hold her down because she was gonna kill me. Like she was like that. She told me she's like that's the only time like I really wanted to beat you. Bad.
How old were you? Like 4?
No, maybe younger,
Oh my
2 or 3. And she was like, stop! And then I just kept on splashing myself in opium.
Oh my god.
And I was like, see, even as a kid, I like luxury items. As a baby. But I think that was like the worst thing I did. Your poor mom. Did you pay for your mom's boobies?
No.
She had to pay for them? Really?
I paid for my own stomach.
I paid for my mom's tummy tuck and her breastplate.
Mm-hmm. But you always have to take care of mom. No matter what, I think you take care of mom.
Yes. I wasn't here. She didn't tell me she was gonna do it though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in Japan.
That bill.
No, I was in Japan, and then I saw this like weird transaction, and I was like, what happened?
Oh,
And then she's like, oh, your mom went to get a tummy tuck. I was like, oh, great. And I was like, why? And she's like, don't you want to have like a beautiful mother? And I was like, nobody sees you.
Oh my god.
Nobody cares.
Stop it. Be nice.
But I paid for it.
Well, hey.
Does anybody want to adopt me, and I'll pay for your tummy tuck and your breastplate too?
That's so funny. That's so funny.
And she was really smart. She did it while I was in Tokyo.
Right.
That was like the only time too like I ever went to Japan for like a vacation, because all the other times I would go to Japan was for work.
Yeah. When was the first time you went out there to work?
To Asia or to Japan?
Japan.
To Japan, I think was when I first had my first distributor there, and it was in Osaka.
Wow. How did you feel about that? Like
Going to Japan for the first time, it was very exciting. I was very nervous because it was like something I always wanted to do. It like as a little kid, I was like, oh my god, I'm finally going to Japan. And then I got there, and it was totally different from what I thought it was going to be. I was actually I want to say a little bit disappointed, because I was expecting Japan to be like this really modern, futuristic country, and just to be really cool, and like everybody looked really cool and hip, and just how you imagine Tokyo being, right?
Yeah.
Or even Osaka too. Like I was imagining this really big futuristic city, and all these really cool buildings, and like people like dressed up really cool with like cool hair and just like really high fashion.
Yeah.
And it's the complete opposite. It's a very conservative country. It's people like want to look the same because they think that being different or like bringing attention to yourself is bad.
So you stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But I'm a foreigner, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But a foreigner that looks like you, or even I, like is there a lot of people that look like us?
You would see like, you know, oh, there's a foreigner right there. Because everybody else, like for example, there's a lot of men in suits because they're all like, yes.
Yeah.
And they have different laws than we do. So like for example, women at certain places have to have certain kinds of makeup. They can't only have natural looking makeup. Hair color, you can only have a black or brown or natural looking hair colors. You can't do something like what you have.
Wow.
Really strict. No tattoos showing at certain places. Very, very conservative country.
Have you been to Dubai?
No, but I've been to Lebanon.
Yeah.
So Japan is very conservative. They like everything, but it's very clean.
Yeah.
Then I remember I was like, where do I throw my trash out? And they're like, oh, you do it at home. And in Osaka, they do have polluted trash cans, but in Tokyo, they don't, because there was a bombing there in the 90s, or in the late 80s. So
bombing, so they got bombed, they don't have trash cans? Really?
yeah, they got rid of every single trash can in the subway station.
That's where they put the bomb.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. How crazy.
And like,
Sorry.
that's okay. Businesses close really early. Like in Japan, everything is dead by like 9.
Wow.
And their nightlife is like the clubs and things like that are not as big as like Paying for Affection. They love these things called host bars and hostess bars, where you basically go into a bar. It's like going on a date, but like the person just sits there and like hears you talk, and you pay money to sit there and like you buy their drinks and things like that. It is huge.
Wait, what? So like you would go to a bar and you pay somebody to
And then you pick a girl and then you sit there and you talk to her.
Did you do it?
Yes,
Did you?
I did.
How was it? Do you speak English?
I did have one that spoke English.
Nice.
Because it was like, I was like, I'm not gonna go to Japan and not go to a hostess bar.
So what did you do? You talked about like
No, they talk to you and they like make you feel like, you know, really special because it's their job. And the more you sit there, the more you have to pay them for them. It's kind of like going to like,
it's like putting the coin in.
it's like going to a strip club minus the stripping.
Yeah. Or like
And the girls are like really pretty and they just sit there and they talk and you buy them drinks.
crazy. You think you'd be hammered by the end of the night.
Well, that's the point, that they want you to spend a lot of money on drinks and things like that.
And it was them. Oh, or they're not drinking alcohol.
No, they are.
They're not drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was like, I was asking the girls.
Vodka.
For real, they probably do that.
Yeah,
And I was asking the girls that do there, I was like, are you guys like, what's it like working here? I almost felt like a reporter.
Yeah, you're like, I'm an alcoholic and I need to go to AA.
Yeah, for reals. A lot of them were like, oh, you know, it gets really hard because you have to drink every day and I don't like drinking or something like that. And then they go to like hair salons every day to get their hair done every single day or get styled or go get your makeup done every day. Like, it's really hard. Because strip clubs are illegal.
Wow. So that's their form of affection.
Kind of. And dating in Japan is really, really non-existent. Like, they have the lowest birth rate in the world because people go to these places and they kind of like have pretend relationships with these people. So like some people will go every... Yeah. Well, I don't know what happens outside of those establishments, but like there's people that go every single day to talk to the same person and like shell out money. So like, yeah, but it's not real. Because I was like, why do people spend so much money on this? And they're like, it's because there's no rejection and the person like pretends they like you and things like that. So yeah, Japan has really bad sexual harassment, so they probably do have a lot of stalking and things like that. Like after a certain time, there's trains, like subway stations that are only for women. Because sexual harassment and things like that are really bad in Japan. It's a very unique society. A lot of taboos. And they also think that snaggle teeth are attractive, like cute, like a snaggle tooth.
Like different countries and things that they find attractive or like body type even like when you go to like Japan like what people really see as like beautiful.
Like when I was in Korea and I was telling people about like, oh, you know, here in America, like they like a lot of like polyamorous relationships or non-monogamous and things like that, and they're like, what?
Yeah, like what does that mean?
Or non-binary. I was like, do you guys have non-binary people here? And they're like, we don't know what that is.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that really makes the world like, you know, it makes America feel so much like a bubble that people outside of us don't realize, like, don't have these kinds of things.
Right. Yeah, it's just not their societal needs.
Or culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in Korea, they think having a really small face is attractive, and here people don't think about having a small face.
Right.
Yes. Or big, heavy eyelashes and things like that. And over there,
it looks crazy. And now, like, when you're all in your house, they say you don't have good vision. Like, my vision is all stupid.
it's a very evening kind of look, having big eyelashes.
It's very porn star kind of thing.
Yes, it is. And then when you don't have eyelashes, and you like go out, you're like, oh, who are you? You look like a different person. Yeah, for sure. You gotta be careful. But that is kind of gnarly. And then like I had an issue with my manager in Japan, and that's why I ended my distribution there. And the contract was because she sexually harassed me. Yeah. So we were in Tokyo. I flew into Osaka, and we were in Osaka for like 2 days, and then we had to go to Tokyo for the nail expo. So when we got to Tokyo, we had to take the train to Big Sight. Big Sight is a convention center. The convention center is out in the middle of the ocean.
In the middle of the ocean?
Yeah, they built it like on a fake island because there's really not that much space in Tokyo.
Yeah, it's very compact.
Yes, it's a very compact city. And actually Tokyo is not that pretty at night. Like it doesn't have a pretty skyline. Yeah, it's kind
I feel like you're really becoming people pretty good.
Yeah, like I think Hong Kong is prettier at night, or Shanghai. Like China has beautiful skylines, but like Tokyo and Seoul are not that pretty at night.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Back to the sexual drive.
And they're really racist. They're very wary of foreign people. Like people say America's racist, but you know we don't have signs. people's like here, like people say America's racist, but over there, like they actually have signs on like businesses that say no foreigners allowed or no non-Japanese. Like there's nightclubs that only let Japanese people in, like they won't let foreigners in. That's real racism or discrimination. Yeah.
Fascinating. Wait, back to the sexual harassment.
Oh, so I was we had to go to Big Site, and I had 4 suitcases with me because you know your boy don't travel light.
I can only imagine.
So then I told her, I was like, can we go drop these off at the hotel and then go, or leave them with the concierge, because I don't want to be around the metro train with all these suitcases. She's like, no, it's fine, I'll help you. So long story short, we finally get to Big Site. She has her meeting that lasts like 5 minutes, and then I was like, let's go take these to the hotel. And she's like, oh, okay, but I forgot to tell you something. I was like, what is it? She's like, I only booked 1 hotel room. I was like, what? Where will you sleep? And she was like, well, I didn't think it would be an issue if we slept in the same bed. And I was like, well, it is. Because I'm a man, you're a woman, and no. And she's like, but I don't see what the issue is. I was like, no. I was like, we either need to get another hotel or I'm leaving. And she's like, well, there's no more hotels. And I was like, this is Tokyo. This is like the biggest city in the world.
Yeah.
There's lots of hotels.
Right.
You can see in a capsule hotel.
Right.
But we're not sleeping in the same bed, and we're not sleeping in the same room. And it just got very uncomfortable. And she's like, well, I'm out. So talk to my attorney. And I was like, for what?
My attorney because
Yeah.
I didn't sleep in the same bed with her.
Yeah. So I was like, you need to figure something out because this is not okay.
Yeah.
So then she finally agreed and she apologized later. After she saw me getting really upset.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, that's okay. But you need to be more professional because this is not okay.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not a couple, you can't hold my hand or anything like that.
Yeah. Wow. Look at you saying no.
You gotta stop it. You gotta stomp it.
Yeah.
And then I sent her, I had my attorney send her a letter and I said sexual harassment is no joke.
Right.
And I feel like when sexual harassment happens to men, like when I tell this story, people think it's kind of funny, which it kind of is, but it's also like, if it would have happened to a woman, like it would have been,
Can you imagine if a man was just like, oh yeah, we're
we're gonna share a hotel room and we're gonna sleep in the same bed. Like,
Right.
if it would have been a woman, I feel
it's
like,
no big deal. Shut up and take it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, or maybe like, it would have been all over it too if it would have been a chick too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, wow.
And I said no. No means no.
You said no. I hear that all the time. No means no.
And she just like did like really awkward things. Like one time we were walking and it was really crowded and she put her hand in my pocket and I was like, why are you doing that? No, please don't do that.
Like which pocket? Like a front pocket?
Yeah, like on my side.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, oh, I'm just moving you. And I was like, no, that's fine. I'm not, I'm not a child.
Yeah. Was she like bigger than you or was she like 5'2"?
No, she was small.
Was she?
But just like really awkward and I didn't like it. And after that incident, I was like, you know what? I'd rather lose the market than, be put in a position where I'm uncomfortable again.
Right.
So I decided to end the sale in Japan. That's why I don't go there anymore for work because I don't have a stripper there anymore.
Right. Fair enough. What have been your favorite places to go?
What do you mean?
Like traveling, like where either work or not work, what have been your favorite places?
My favorite places?
Yeah.
I really like South Korea. I think that's why I've been there so many times. Paris is really pretty. London is cool. What's another really fun place? Bangkok was okay. Yeah. Bangkok is not what you think it is, like super crazy and things like that. Like everything closes at I think like 11 or 12. But they have really good food there. Bangkok has like incredible food. But the best food I've had is hands down in China.
Really?
I've never had a bad meal in China except for one, which was fermented fish. Yeah. It was like fish that was like sitting in this like ceramic barrel for 30 days, and it tasted and it smelled like pneumonia. It was not bueno. But that was like pneumonia. That was like the worst meal I've had in China. Other than that, every single meal I've had in China was hands down life-changing.
What do you think would you spend on average for a meal?
In China,
Yeah.
at the time I was there, maybe like $7, $8. The food is very affordable and just such a huge variety. Thailand too.
I heard that about Thailand.
But Thailand is too hot.
Was it?
Yeah.
Very sweaty.
It's very hot, very sweaty. And like after a while, once you travel to so many places, like you can tell the difference between being in downtown Bangkok and being in New York. It's the same stores, lots of tourists. So like thanks to globalization, like it made the world like a smaller place, but then it's like, oh look, there's H&M, there's Zara, there's Sunglass Hut.
Yeah.
But I think one of the few places I would still like to visit, I would like to visit the Philippines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would like to visit the Philippines, and I would like to visit...
Cuba.
No.
You don't want to go there?
There's nothing there that's not anywhere else. A whole bunch of buildings, skyscrapers. I mean, I've seen really cool skyscrapers in China. And then there's like Dubai, there's nothing really to do other than like shopping. Indoor, it's shopping and like it's the same stores everywhere else. Or actually China has better shopping than Dubai because China has the most consumers of luxury goods than the Middle East. So like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all like the big brands will make collections only for the Chinese market.
And how crazy from where you come, from where you are now. Like I feel like
I would like to visit the Great Wall of China too. And that's it. Like everywhere else I've already been.
with no TSA pre-check.
With no TSA pre-check.
It's outrageous.
Moscow is really beautiful. Like it looks like you're in a fairy tale. And then I was there in May, so there was tulips everywhere and flowers. It was just really green and just really, really beautiful. Sweden, I would have liked to spend more time in Stockholm. That's a really, it looks like a really cool city.
Have you been to Amsterdam?
I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
The red light.
The red light district, it's very touristy. Yeah.
Like walking down like Nashville,
It's like kind of like,
Vegas Avenue.
no, because it's really small and old, but it's just like, you know, the girls are in the windows and you see like guys going in and out. You see a lot of like Asian guys and Middle Eastern guys going for the services. They have museums, like sex museum and things like that. I mean, it's...
Did you go to the sex museum?
We did, yes.
Like just like a rite of passage, just see it.
We went to a bakery and you could do lines of cocoa, like of chocolate. Because there's real in the Netherlands, they're really famous for like these like waffles that they make, like almost like a waffle cookie, like a strudel. Oh, it's so good.
I got some of them like mini waffles.
Yes, they're so good. Oh my gosh, really good pastries and bakeries there. And the people are really friendly. But then also like, it's not a very modern city. So lots of old buildings. Yeah. But I mean, when it comes to old buildings, like you can't be Paris.
Right.
Even like the hood in Paris is pretty.
What is it, the candles?
Yes, underneath.
Yeah. Did you like go like tour? Like do you see it?
I don't know, I didn't take the subway in Paris. I would be scared of the subway in Paris because there's a lot of petty crime. Yeah, and I'm a walking target for that kind of stuff, so no thank you. So I didn't do any of that.
Right.
But I did... No, we took an Uber. We took an Uber to Disneyland Paris. I was there with my friend Julie, and she was in Cannes, and I was like, Julie, I'm in Sweden, but I want to go to Paris, and I can go to Disneyland. Do you want to meet up do you want to meet up in Paris? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. So then we were there, and we got an Uber to go to Disneyland, and like an hour into it, I was like, did he kidnap us? Like, is this taken?
An hour?
Yeah.
You're still in the Uber.
Yeah, like Disneyland is far from Paris. They should call it like Disneyland France, because it's not near Paris at all. It's like an hour and a half. Until we saw a sign that said like it had a Mickey Mouse, and I was like, oh, thank God, we're on our way.
You're like, okay, there is it.
Oh, dile que si se quiere viniendo.
And like a perfect accent to all of your intros and languages that you know.
I like to do the language justice.
I love that you're being so authentic about it. It's so respectful to their language.
Because I've always been, ever since I was a little kid, I was really into languages and different cultures and things like that too. So I really should learn Korean though, because I've been there so many gosh darn times and I can't speak anything. Like my vocabulary is probably as much as a year-old baby.
Is it hard?
It is, especially like I think Korean and Japanese, both of them. Like the verb goes at the end, and it's first the adjective.
But also like the way you conjugate
Really?
It is, yeah. Like even the way, like, you know.
But I think the way we structure sentences in yes.
Structuring them is similar.
In romantic languages, whether like Spanish, English, I think French as well too.
Latin.
The thing that people say that is really hard about Spanish is like whether to know something is male or female. And that comes from, I think, being like a natural speaker.
Right, right.
Because then it could be kind of hard. Because like I know my nephew, when he was little, he would say like some things like the wrong gender in Spanish and it would sound funny.
Right. Well, yeah. I think well now it's probably just accepted, right?
Maybe, but it still sounds funny.
Yeah.
Like he would say like gato is male cat, but then le is female, so he would say la gato, and it would be funny. But he was like 2 or 3.
Right. We're close. We almost got it. Almost. Close but no cigar.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
So that I think that's the hard part about like Spanish and French. I think Italian as well too is to know if it's male or female. I'm not sure if German is like that.
German sounds like an English language. Like a,
German is hard. The only thing I know how to say in German is hospital.
how do you say hospital?
Krankenhaus.
Is that why you know it?
Yes, because it sounds like crack house.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So if you ever are in a German-speaking country and you need to go to the hospital, Krankenhaus. Take me to the crack house.
Right. Got it. I will remember that.
And I think in German, like saying something that's more than 10, like 22, you say 2 plus 20. Yeah.
See, oh, I feel like those are so hard to like remember. And even the, people who are more than like bilingual or trilingual, or and especially if it's another language, like for you to know like English, Spanish, and like Portuguese is not that far off. You know what I'm saying? Or like
Because they're kind of similar.
yeah, exactly. But to switch back and forth between like English, Spanish, Korean, or
Like in Japanese, to say like 21 is ni ju ichi. So it's 2, 10, 1. That's 21 in Japanese. Yes, 2, 10, 1
one.
is 21.
Wow.
So now I'm going to do a thin coat of Oval Shiny from the Glitter 3 set. And this is available now either open stock or a la carte just to dress up the nail a little bit more and give her some glitter moments. But I hope everybody had fun with our little conversation. Did anybody say anything? I'll take a look right now when we start making these bad boys. An interesting conversation.
At least entertaining conversations with us.
This is very tame, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Next time you have to tell us more dating stories, because I love your dating stories.
Oh my gosh, dating stories are always dating stories with the Botox lip flip.
Yes.
Those are like actually pretty fantastic.
The horror stories of Tinder.
Oh, Tinder makes the world go round.
For reals, whoever owns Tinder, I should buy stock in
You
Tinder.
should have done that a long time ago.
Let's go ahead and bake this. Yes. Let me check on this one. Do we have any comments from the girls? Hello, hello. Oh my lordy, said Antonia. I watch a YouTuber who does a day in the life with Japanese workers, and I'm gobsmacked how diverse they are, yet how clean, polite, and human they are. They are polite by culture, but not in real life. It's a very conservative, very prudish society. So now we're going to do a coat of Wonder Gel over the entire nail surface, and Wonder Gel we are using because she is a hairdresser by trade, and her nails will not stain with this. Because the last thing she wants is for these Anna Nicole Smith 1993 French tips to look stained. Black hair dye is the worst for nails.
Even brown, it just makes things look murky or like, you know what I mean, muddy.
You're like, my beautiful nails. I need to... Is that where you always wore dark colors?
Yes. Remember, you never put anything like that.
We always did black on with something.
Or even remember you tried everything when you like initially like and new products and stuff too. That was so many million years ago.
When it was like barely into like mixing, like a mad scientist.
Always testing. And these ones feel really good.
They feel nice and strong.
Yeah.
Ready for Bojangles. Have you ever been to Bojangles?
You almost asked me that and
Well, hopefully one day you'll say yes.
one day it's one of my life goals.
To go to Bojangles?
Yeah.
You gotta be ready.
I am ready.
Like psychologically, mentally, and physically prepared.
I'm ready. I think I can handle it. I think I have it.
You're ready?
Yeah. Baby steps.
Baby steps.
It's taken years to get to this point.
What about your like cowboy hat? You need a sombrero.
I got it all.
You got the sombrero ready? The Ed Hardy shirt?
Oh my god. Can you imagine?
If not, you can't go in.
Oh
Your homegirl Seicha used to love Ed Hardy back in the day.
my gosh, I think everybody loves it.
I never wore Ed Hardy because my mom never let me wear anything with skulls
Really?
because they deal with the occult.
Oh. Didn't see that.
To this day, I don't wear anything with skulls. Really? Like a sugar skull or what? Like, was that for the Mexican in you?
At least that one time. I'm just kidding.
3 times.
There you go.
3 times that I can know, that I know of. Is he mixed? Your oldest is Puerto Rican? Really?
Yeah.
Is his dad short?
His dad is not super tall.
Because Puerto Rican guys are not tall.
No. Crazy.
We were talking about Bad Bunny the other day on one of my live streams, and we were like, I wonder how tall is he? And he's 6'1".
Oh, 6'1". That's tall.
That's really tall.
Yeah. I think my son's dad is maybe 5'7".
Oh, so he's average. 5'7" to 5'11", that's a big difference.
Right. And just count. I know. Sorry.
Was it a minute already? We gotta make sure it's dry.
Is it that dry?
Yes, beautiful.
I did it.
Look how beautiful they came out, you guys.
So shiny.
So remember, after the hand comes out of the lamp, we're gonna wait 10 seconds, and then we apply cotton candy. Beautiful oil. And now let's get a close-up and take one off the tripod, so we can see these phalanges. Look at that. She is serving quinceañera and Nicole Smith realness with these phalanges. Look at that opal shiny. It just adds the right amount of glitter to the nails without overpowering.
Oh my gosh, they look so good.
Well, my loves, that's going to wrap up this little demo for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for coming out, Miss Kendra. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And what can I say? I love you guys so much. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. I know that's hard for some of us. And I will see you guys in the next live video. Bye, everyone.